Yo, what is going on, trappers? Welcome back to another episode of J World Trap TV. Today we're covering Kanan Season 2, Episode 6. This one is a doozy, and it's so good I have to go put on my Power Book Raising Kanan shirt, man. Hey, and Kanan was acting like Kanan today, like for real. So, guys, man, lot to unpack. Got a death, got bodies dropping. Let's jump right in. Let's go. We start this episode off. We're in Tony's old club, and Rock is doing a meeting with the whole crew. She's brought all the Thomas agents in, and they're all meeting, and she has a quick little speech that she wants to give them. Basically, she tells them, they're not giving up Jersey. They're gonna stand up to the Italians, and that if they don't stand here and stand firm here, that the Italians will start taking over the rest of their territory. She says that Jersey is a proof of concept and that she wants to go national. Lou says it isn't worth it. Marvin says the Jersey dudes are all about the heroin, not the crack. She says she's bringing Kanan back into the mix and that she wants him to see everything. She says, and she makes a slight at Lou, saying that she needs men in the family who actually appreciate the work that the business brings. Okay, so this is where things get interesting. So after Rock speaks to everybody, she kind of lets everybody kind of split up, and we get a lot of different kind of conversations going. Worrell comes up to Rock and he says, can he speak to her privately? Kanan is talking to Lou. Marvin's over here talking to some of the bartenders. Lou asks Kanan, yo, are you really down with this? This is what you want to do? You trying to be in the game? You know, our favorite question. Kanan's like, yeah, isn't this what you do? And Lou's like, this is what she does. So Lou is like for real, like he is, he's tapping out. He doesn't, he's over it. Marvin's over there getting the story on Tony, figuring out like what happened, how did she get to her new glow up. And Worrell is over here talking to Rod. He's saying, hey, I'm loyal. I think Neek has a connection to these Italians. And it's kind of funny because Rock is like, those dudes who be saying they're loyal are the ones you gotta watch out for. Worrell continues, he tells Rock that Neek owes her a favor and that she should talk to him. Hey, these niggas are snakes, man. I'm just gonna say it right here. I'm just gonna say it right here at the beginning of the episode. These dudes are snakes. They are playing a game. They're trying to pinch Rock. No, for real, man. I see it coming. We switch to Howard. Howard, he's at a diner, he's waiting for someone. We switch back to Rock and Kanan. They're walking outside, and Rock is pretty much saying, all right, man, you about to see everything. You about to be a general. This is all about to be yours. It looks like, during this scene, it looks like, Kanan and Rock are in a little bit of a better place. He's not just kind of completely blowing her off like he was last episode, but it seems like they're in a better spot. Burke is somewhere, she's getting records on Howard. She noticed there's a huge gap in his service record and she asks about it, and the clerk lets him know that, that can be because he was working undercover. Burke is getting close. If you remember, Rock said that Howard was an undercover, and that's when he pushed up on her, and that's when they got together and had Kanan. This is interesting. She is really digging deep, and I wonder if she's gonna confront, because eventually she will have to. And is this going to split that relationship up or what? Because it looks like Burke's a straight shooter. She might not be down to do that, gray area stuff that Howard does. Speaking of Howard, go back to the diner and he's still waiting, possibly for Kanan. No one shows up, so he pays the bill and he leaves. Rock, Lou, and Marvin pull up on Neek in his store. Neek starts trolling Lou, saying, hey, did you, how did you miss Worrell when this dude was, in the middle of a woman's legs with his back turned to you? Did you want to miss, And Marvin stands up for his bro. I like that. Marvin's like, hey, man, your breath stink, bro. Your breath. Rock says she has Italian problems, and she says that she knows that Neek has connections to them, and she wants something done. Neek confirms his relationship with Marco. Rock says that they're all going to go together to meet the Italians. And Neek's all like, all right, solo. And then she's like, no, well, today we're carpooling. And he's like, all right, well, if I could sit next to you, Rock. Bro, Neek is so funny, man. I think he has some of the best lines in the whole show. They leave the boutique, and Marvin's worried. He's like, yo, we can't trust Neek. And Rock's like, we can't trust both of these niggas. We can't trust Worrell, and we can't trust Neek. She asked Lou to set up a meet with the Italians somewhere out in the public so these dudes don't pull up shooting. So now we got Juke. And she is, trying on some dress. And, like I said, I got to remember this girl is 16. Maybe the actress who plays was not 16. But, Juke looking good in the dress, man. She look good. Her hair look good, everything, yeah. I don't got nothing to say, no complaints. Looks like a whole different person. Kenya says she's stunning. Kenya says they're gonna try on some more dress, and Drew kind of seems like, how many dresses are we gonna try on? She goes like, well, this is the last one at this store. So Kenya's out here taking her shopping, you know what I'm saying? Getting her daughter laced up, trying to, fill in some of those gaps that there was when she left, 16 years ago. Juke is with it. So we got Marvin. He's in an anger management session, and he's actually up. Like, he's standing up, he's talking to everybody, and he's talking. I was kind of got close to the drug business, but he's telling everybody how he managed some anger and stuff. And Renee compliments his progress. She says words matter, and they can make people feel certain type of ways. Marvin says he's been trying the breathing techniques, but they don't always work, but they are helpful. And you can tell Renee is into him. Like, she's looking into him, the chemistry, the eye connection there. Are these guys, we got 4 episodes left right after this. Are they gonna get together before the end of the season? Let me know in the comments. So now we got Juke and Kenya walking down the street, and one of Juke's old friends that she used to boost clothes with, calls her, and he goes like, yo, what you up to? And then he goes like, dang, you kind of switched up your whole look and everything. And Kenya's like, hello, young man, what is your name? And he's all like, okay, who's Laverne? And then he just like dips out. But before he leaves, he called Juke fine. So guys, I know there's this thing where people are trying to be like, oh, Juke is not beautiful. But bro, we've had a number of people say that Juke is beautiful. And not just like, her parents and her uncles and whatever. We had Fame trying to push up on her. We had this dude, and we even had me. No, I'm kidding. But no, so, yeah, dude, Juke is not a bad looking girl. I don't know why people keep on trying to make a big deal about that. Dude, everybody's beautiful in their own way. And at the end of the day, these dudes do really like her. Famous had like a bunch of people at that party. But why is he pushing up on Juke? Because it's not just about how someone looks. It's about what's inside too. So now we got Rock, Lou, and Marvin together. They're meeting the Italians. They're out on the pier. Rock asks Lou how come they're meeting at the pier instead of New Jersey, and the Italian said that he likes a pizza place over here. The Italians, they pull up, and when they pull up deep. They come in and they are there. Like, they got like 10 dudes coming out. They all got the same cars, looks like little, the little mafia sentinels from Grand Theft Auto 3. And we got Neek coming out the back of the car with them. He pulls up with them, walks up with them like he's a member of their association. So Sal, he comes up and he says like, hey, this was already settled. But because my good friend Neek here, wants me to make a deal, I decided to kind of open this back up and see if we can make a deal. Sal doesn't really allow Rock to negotiate anything though, and he tells her that, hey, you would have been dead if those kids weren't there. At the Catskills. Sal tells Rock that he will let her have a piece of Jersey. And it's kind of funny because this dude, like, he's heavy-handedly telling her, like, how it's going to work, what's going to happen and stuff. And Rock's just playing along. It's like, oh, okay, thank you. Yes, I'm just glad to be a member at the table. But you can tell this is not going over well for her. And he makes one last change to the deal. He says that Neek has to run the Jersey area because he trusts Neek, and that's just how it has to go if Rock wants to do this deal. So Rock's like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, Neek's family, that works. So they shake hands, and then Rock grabs Neek, and she's like that he's a snake and that he planned this whole thing from the beginning, starting with Worrell's cousins in Jersey. Neek says he feels like he just hit that buzzer beater, baby. And if you go back to my Italian Connection video, this is what I was saying. This was all a ruse to get back in, to get a piece of the pie, to get a piece. So if you go back to my Italian Connection video, this is what I was talking about. This was the play. It was to get a bigger piece of the pie, to get back in the game, to actually have a connect. But now it's even better because he's in Rock's organization and he can just pick this apart little by little from the inside and have the protection from the Italians. So now he switched to Kanan. He's picking up money over at the Baisley spot. He's told that he needs to take this money to the bodega. Seems like the lower associates aren't really happy with Kanan's promotion. We go outside and Kanan and Fame are walking together. Some boys from the block, led by a dude named Freddie, they pull up on Fame, and they take his necklace, and then they take Kanan's bag that has all the money in it. Kanan tries to stand up to him and tells him that this is all stupid, but Freddie says, yo, this is the streets, bro, and takes his stuff. Kanan's pissed, bro. He's like, yo, we gotta get that money back. Fame's like, oh man, we can't pull up on that guy will kill us. And then Kanan's like, yo, after this is never gonna happen to me again. So we get like a crazy moment. This fool Kanan looking mad. And yeah, you can tell he's starting to go down that path. Too bad, Kanan. So now we switch to Rock and Cartier. They're in an art gallery. They're walking and talking, and one of his employees comes up to him and asks him if he can help load something into a car. This dude, Cartier, pimp slaps this dude and is like, oh, don't you ever interrupt me again. Go, there's a hand. Go do that yourself, right? So he goes back and he's talking to Rock about business, and he's saying that, you gotta like really keep, your subordinates in control. And then Rock asks him like, yo, so like, where are you getting your money from? This is kind of what she's always doing with him. She's kind of picking his brain. and she tells him that, you know, there's no space here in New York. Jersey's tied up. Where are you getting, you know, where are you selling your drugs? And this dude, he tells her that he is dealing out in places like smaller markets like DC and Baltimore, Norfolk, places where they'll pay more for product and then he can make it whatever he wants. As he's talking, you can see Raquel is really interested because this is what she was talking about earlier. She was talking about going international. What this guy just described is what she wants to do with her organization. So this dude is already there. No trouble, no problems, no brothers having issues, no kids. This dude is doing it, right? As far as we can see from Cartier, it is. Everything's smooth on this guy's operation. The guy comes back and he interrupts him again. I thought he was about to get another pimp slap. But he didn't get money, gives him the money. And Rock and Cartier leave, but when they leave arm in arm. So yo, is Rock about to get with Cartier? Doesn't seem like her kind of match. She's more of the lean, slender type, you know, as far as, you know, her choice of men. So interesting indeed. So now we got Lou in the studio. Zisa comes in to chop it up a bit. She says that Cartier is upset that he hasn't heard their new song on the radio yet. Lou tells her that, hey, just keep that guy calm. Don't worry, it's gonna come. I'm upset about it too. I'm working on it. Zisa then asks Lou, why didn't you tell me that that was your niece's song that you had me sing on? And Lou says that they just sang it differently and it just kind of worked out better for her. Zisa then tries to kind of get close to Lou and she says that when she's singing, she's always thinking about singing to someone. And then Lou asks, well, who are you singing to, Zisa? And then she says, well, who do you think? So basically, she's kind of like flirting and kind of putting herself out there for him. He doesn't bite quite yet, but he does seem interested. So now we switch to Famous's house. Kanan and Famous are there. Kanan's looking for like a knife, and this dude don't got nothing, bro. He got like some forks and some spoons. Dude, his coffee table is like a box. He has like a kitchen table, but it looks pretty rickety. Yo, Famous, you need to go get some money and, you know, clean that place up. Kanan comes up with the idea to go to Kareen's house. He goes to Kareen's house and he asks her for a knife. She says they don't look like chefs. And then her mom, Palomar, comes out and tells Kanan to come into the kitchen for the knife, but then she gives him a revolver. So, all right, what did they say to make her think that he needed a gun? How does she know all this? Like, dude, something is suspicious with this woman. She knows it, and then she kisses him on the cheek. How does she know that you need a gun? I don't know. There's something weird, bro. I'm telling you, season finale vibes. This lady's gonna come out and just change the game on everybody, bro. There's something weird about this woman. Kanan gets the gun and he's out in the hallway. He sees one of those guys who robbed him earlier and he's opening his door. As soon as he unlocks the door, him and Fame rush them and push them through the door. Kanan holds everyone in the room at gunpoint and he gets the money back. At this point, it looks like Fame wants to go, but Kanan wants to make sure this guy understands that he is not to be messed with. So he hits the dude in the mouth with the gun and he gives him a really brutal beatdown. Like brutal, like beat him up, walked away and came back and took his chain, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy. So they're leaving, some guys seen them fighting. The cops are everywhere outside. They get pressed, Kanan runs, Famous trips, the police catch Famous and they get the bag with the money in it and Kanan escapes. Now we're back at the Thomas house and it's just Marvin and Rock. Marvin asked Rock if they were able to connect, if her and Kanan were able to connect when they were out the Catskills. Rock says a little bit, but you know, Kanan's kind of in his head now. Before, you know, he used to tell her everything, but now he's just, you know, in his head and she kind of has to try to figure it out. Marvin says, well, at least Kanan's speaking to you. Juke has pretty much wrote me off, period. She might as well be an orphan now. And this is where it turns, okay? So Rock says okay, I need to tell you about something, but before I speak on it, let me give you my 2 cents. So she straight up calls out Marvin. She goes like, yo, why did you beat your daughter up like she was some dude around the block? Our parents would have never done that to me, so why do you think that's okay? And if you do it again, I will kill you myself. Bro, I'm telling you, I didn't do it as good as she did, but dude, Patina Miller is like, dude, she is like a monster in this episode, dude. She's just a monster. Another second's gonna come up and I'll tell you about that one too. But she is a monster in this episode. All of a sudden, Kanan bursts in and he tells her about the whole Famous situation. Rock is like, yo, Famous has family. They can, you know, Famous has family. His family can get him out of jail. We're not gonna get involved. Kanan looks at Marvin and goes like, Uncle Marv. And she goes like, what your mom said. So Kanan's pissed, but Rock doesn't know that Famous got busted with her money. So now we got Burke, Shannon Burke, hanging out with Detective Adina. So now we got Burke hanging out with Adina. They're at Burke's house. They're just hanging out, and she's telling Adina that, hey, Howard has a son. I found it out, during this investigation. Adina says Andrea could have been lying about Howard's son, that she doesn't know the truth, and that she should just kind of keep doing some more digging. Adina asks if she can spend the night, and it was like a weird kind of, exchange. Shannon's like, are you asking me if you want to stay tonight, or are you asking yourself if you want to stay tonight? So they spend the night together and they get intimate. Adina does tell Burke that she doesn't want to get hurt again. So I didn't know Burke was out here breaking hearts, Burke, you out here breaking hearts? So now we're having dinner with the Thomas family. Everyone's here. Marvin comments on Juke's dress, and this is interesting, not just because she's wearing a dress, but now she's wearing the dress at home. Before, when she dressed up like in the suit last season, she didn't want anyone to see her. So she is now dressing how she wants to at home. She doesn't care what Marvin has to say or anyone else has to say. She's being more feminine. Nothing wrong with that. And nothing wrong with what she was doing before either. Kanan brings up Fame to Lou at dinner, and Rock shuts it down again, says they're not doing anything about it. We switch to Famous. He's in jail and he's rapping. There's some dudes in lockout who come up and ask him about his music, and they ask him if he's the guy from The Streets Need a Body, and he's like, yeah, that's me. And then the dude's like, oh yeah, your mixtape was trash. So yeah, they kind of took him down a little bit, but guess what, Fame? Guess what, man? Even though I don't really like your character, I will say they knew who you were, and that's good enough. That's how it all starts. So back at the Thomas house, Marvin tries to talk to Juke again. She ignores him. Kanan tells Marvin the whole story with the money. Kanan tells Marvin the whole story with the money and how it was taken by the police. Marvin says that he's staying out of that, and Kanan's gonna have to kind of figure that out himself. Lou is over talking to Rock. Rock asks him if what Neek said was true. Did he miss Worrell on purpose? Lou says that he told her that he didn't want to do that type of work anymore, and maybe it subconsciously affected him, and that's what caused him to miss. Then Rock hits him with like, well, maybe my subconscious is telling me that you're not down anymore, And I love the way she delivered that line. It was pretty funny. Even her, the look on her face was hilarious to me. But no, yeah, Rock is shooting this episode, man. There's just so many different ranges that she did this episode, from meeting with Sal and playing along, to the way she talks to her brother, to what she said, to Marvin earlier. I love her range in acting, and honestly, the show is called Raising Kanan, but this is really Rock's show. So Lou says he missed because, the Tech 9 jam, but if you remember, Rock also said in the first season, don't use a Tech 9, those damn things jam, use a 9mm. So now we have Marvin visiting Kenya, and this is pretty tense. He says it's bad that you left and you never looked back. You wanted to go be like bootleg Anita Baker. She says that she came back to be with her daughter. She wants to have a relationship with her daughter, and she apologizes to Marvin for leaving. And he says that, you should just stay gone, So this, you can tell Marvin is really, really hurt about this whole Kenya and Juke situation. So now we got Rock. She's rolling with Neek. She's introducing him as a new general for New Jersey. And her associates are not very happy about it. Before Rock leaves, she says, you're a guest here. They'll be putting your feet up on the furniture, and as soon as she walks out, he puts his feet up on the furniture. We are outside the police station now, and we see Sam the crackhead. And it's just for a brief moment, but pay attention and listen to the music, because he sees Kanan outside the police station and he double takes him. So this guy is gonna go tell someone important that Kanan is outside the police station talking to police or talking to Howard. Go back to Kanan, he's waiting, and then Howard comes out with Famous. Howard has gotten Famous out and the bag, all the money, right? Weird. Cool. Great. Good job, Howard. Howard asks Kanan if he can holler at him for a second, take him to the side and give him the, dad-son talk. Burke pulls up and sees Howard talking to Kanan. This is not good, because she's going to start putting two together if she already has it. Howard tells Kanan that when they agree to meet somewhere to not flake on him. He also tells him that Fame is a clown, and I think this kind of foreshadows Fame's death. Because think about it. Maybe I should make a video on this. When Kanan and Fame burst into that room to get that money back, dude, Fame wasn't really doing much. He was being scared, bro. And I think that's something's gonna happen. That hesitancy is gonna be what cost him his life. I like this whole thing that Howard did. It was pretty dope. Good way to stand up for Kanan. Good way to look out for your kid. All right, so now, we are at the most important scene of this episode. We are at Bulletproof Records, and my boy Crown, he is, cleaning up, looking at his records, nice work, putting them away and all that stuff. And Lou walks in and music gets tense. Lou enters the room and says, hey, starts talking about Jessica and tells him that he knows about him going behind his back and sleeping with Jessica. He said that he didn't want to really let a woman come in between business. And then Luce just comes down and says, man, you don't know nothing about business. He says that you don't know nothing about business, and everybody can see that he knows nothing about business, and that everyone can see that Crown is the one running Bulletproof Records. Lou says, okay, so is that why you went to Rock and tried to get me out? Crown tells him that all you're ever gonna be is Rock's baby brother. So it looks like Lou's about to leave, but then it took over. Turns around, punches Crown in the face, Crown falls through the table, and at first, I'm not thinking anyone's gonna die. I thought he was gonna get yelled at. And I was like, man, I hate when this guy just hits Crown. It's so messed up. But then, dude, this boy Lou, he grabs an XLR cable. He walks over. He stands over him like for a second. And then he just drops down, puts that around his neck, starts choking him. And this is so brutal. I'm telling you, I'm gonna put my reaction, dude. I had my live reaction when I was watching this. I don't have sound, but it was brutal, man. It was freaking brutal. He's over there choking him out. And I'm just like, no, don't kill Crown. And I'm like, Crown, do something about it. Crown, like, stand up and put him against the wall, like, start punching him. And he don't start doing that until it's too late. And I'm like, man, you just let this dude kill you. You could have, bro, I would have ran out of Bulletproof Records, bro. I would have been like world naked, bro. I would have ran as soon as he did. He laid down on that table too long when he punched him. I was like, dang. But then the craziest part. After all this, Zisa walks in like nothing happened and says, what are we gonna do with him? Bro, this girl's a ride or die. This girl about to get crazy, man. Dude, Zisa knows. Wait, now did Lou tell Zisa before they walked in, or did she just walk in on that? That's what I wanna know, because y'all niggas need to start locking doors if y'all gonna be killing people, you know what I'm saying? But for real though, yeah, so that's where we are, guys. That's where we are. I thought this was a good episode. We got a lot going on now. We got Neek in with our crew, which isn't good. He's gonna tear us apart from the inside. We got Kanan really putting in work, putting his name out on the street, beat that dude's ass. Everyone's gonna hear about that. Famous, go get it, dude. Famous, go get some furniture. Go over to Jerome's, go over to Living Spaces, clean it up over there. What about Palomar? What's going on with this Palomar girl? The Korean girl is like not even important at this point. This Palomar chick though, something's up. Something's up. I feel like she's in the future of power. Or she's like, this is something we're missing. As far as the Juke, Marvin, Kenya situation, I don't know how that's gonna go. I didn't see Kenya hanging around, in Power Season 4, right? So I don't know if Kenya's gonna survive. I hate saying that, but yeah, last but not least, my boy Lou, man. You killed my boy Crown, man. I like Crown. You didn't have to kill him, man. You could have worked that out. All right, guys, I'm your boy Jay Will. Hit me up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and put a notification bell so you know when I go live or make a new video, all right? Peace, guys.